Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maitri and today I am here with some tips on how to read faster or how to read more in less time. We all want to know that, don't we? We all want to read more and more in less and less time. But while it is true that the only way to read more is to read more, I am here with some practical tips on how you can get more reading done in the same time that you are available with. So I hope these tips are handy for you and I have 7 tips. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video and learn how we can all read fast in lesser time. My first tip to you is to designate a specific time for reading every single day. Now this can be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however much you have, but select a time for reading. For example, if you are free in the morning for an hour, decide that as soon as you wake up, you will read for an hour. Or you can read for an hour in the evening or in the afternoon or at night. It totally depends on you, but make sure that there is a time frame that is just dedicated to reading. So what happens is most of the time we feel guilty about reading when we have more important tasks that we can do, especially if we read for fun. So that makes us put reading in a backseat. We cannot get reading done, and sometimes it happens that we cannot even get the work done. So what I would recommend you to do is choose a specific time that you will read for 2 hours every day, for example, and read for 2 hours every day. And since you have given only those 2 hours to reading, you will not feel like you are wasting time, and as soon as the time comes, you will have to read. So every day you are reading for 2 hours. Imagine how much reading you are getting done. So make sure however much time it is, it can be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, anything. Just designate a specific time of the day to reading and make sure that you read and only read during that time. I also use timers when I am not feeling like reading. I put on a 30 minutes timer and then I read for the 30 minutes because I know that I'm not wasting time. I'm only giving 30 minutes to it, and that makes me more efficient in reading and I actually get reading done. My second tip to you is to take a book with you wherever you go. I know you have heard this before, but hear me out. When you take a book with you wherever you go, be it grocery shopping, be it going to the mall, be it going for your evening walk, whatever, if you take a book with you, you have a chance of reading. Maybe you will get time, maybe you won't. But if you indeed end up getting time, you will not waste it and you can use that time for reading. You can use your traveling time to read. Just have a book handy, because only if you have a book with you, you will be able to read it. Now I get it, paperbacks you cannot carry it everywhere. So keep an ebook with you. I mean, ebooks are so easy to carry around. You can just have PDFs of books if that is what you want to do. But have some form of book with you. It can be audiobooks as well. You can, if you're walking to the place that you are going, if you're driving, you can just listen on the way and you will get reading done. So it can be any format. Just have a book with you wherever you go. And that brings me to my third tip, which is audiobooks. Audiobooks are literally one of the best things in life. I love audiobooks. I constantly listen to them. And the reason that I love them so much is because they are so easy to read. You can read them anywhere. You can read them literally anywhere. You can be traveling, you can be going for your morning walk, you can be going for your evening walk, or you could be traveling to school or college. For a lot of people, if you are a working professional, if you are a student, it can be possible that your school or college or workplace is like an hour away. So you have to travel every day for 1 hour back and forth, and imagine the kind of reading that you can get done in that time. Honestly, a lot of audiobooks are not even read at the speed that they are narrated at. So for me, I personally read audiobooks at either 1.5x speed or sometimes even 2x speed, because the narration is usually slow for everyone. But you can change the settings, you can listen to it in a faster speed, and you are getting more reading done in less time. See? Also, audiobooks are a great way to give your eyes rest. If you're someone who uses screen all day, it could be for work or some other things, you don't really feel like reading after that because you have been using your eyes all day, every day, and then reading on a paperback or an ebook becomes so difficult. So you can just rest your eyes between work, after work. You can just close your eyes, listen to an audiobook, and it would be so much fun. And especially listening to someone else narrate a story is so good. Such a good experience. I love audiobooks. I usually listen to audiobooks while I'm falling asleep so that I'm not using my eyes or screen just before going to bed. So I listen to 1 to 2 hours till I fall asleep, and see, it's a great way to read and you don't have to do it yourself. My fourth point is DNF books. That is, don't finish a book if you don't feel like reading it, or if you feel like this book is going to put you into a slump. There are some books which are so slow. You really want to read them, but they are also very slow paced, and you don't feel like reading it, and you also don't feel like reading anything else. Those are the kinds of books that you should DNF if it goes on for more than a week. And I'm not saying that don't finish them ever, but DNF for that time if you feel like this is going to put you in a slump. There's nothing wrong with DNFing books. I DNF a lot of books, and that helps me to let go of the books that I don't enjoy and read those that I really want to read. So if you're not feeling it with a book, leave it. It doesn't matter how much you have read or how much you have not read. If you are not feeling it, it's better to leave it than to just waste more time with it. You can pick it up later when you are in mood for it, but if right now it is not working for you, it's not working for you. My fifth point is something I discovered when I joined the Bookstagram community, and it is such an incredible thing that I'm very, very bad at. But that is buddy reads. Buddy reads are basically you reading a book with your friends or even complete strangers. But the good thing about buddy reads is it feels like you are reading with someone else, and that helps you stay motivated to continue reading it. You can discuss the book, you can share your thoughts. Like if you don't have a Bookstagram page and you cannot let out your feelings about a book, buddy reads are such a good way because you can talk to other people about the book, you can hear about their thoughts, and that keeps you motivated to keep reading because you feel like someone else is also reading and I'm not alone in this, and that really helps you. So find people who have same taste as yours, because there are so many amazing kinds of readers that you can absolutely find someone who reads books just like you and buddy read with them. You can read at your own pace. It's not a compulsion that you have to finish each and every chapter together, but it's so nice to have somebody to talk to about books that you're reading. My sixth tip is to read multiple books at a time. If you are a person who needs change in between books, if you are like you cannot just read one genre, you need another genre. Like for example, for me, if I'm reading a fantasy or a mystery or a thriller or something like that, and I'm really missing romance, because I'm a slow reader and it's not like I will finish a book in one day. So if I'm really feeling like reading something romance and I'm like I have to finish this book first and it will take approx a week and I cannot read a romance until then, you know what? Start another book. I mean, so what if you're reading one book? You are completely free to start another if you're feeling like you want to go for something like that. Or if you're not a person who likes reading multiple books at a time, you can read multiple formats. So for example, with the same book, you can read a part of it, then if you don't feel like it, you can listen to a part of it. You can keep changing it if you don't feel like reading the same format, because it might be possible that you have been reading for the whole day on the ebook and now your eyes hurt. So you can take the audiobook of that book and continue reading. Or you can change books altogether. If you want to read fantasy for a while, you can read fantasy and then you can start a romance book. Keep changing. I am definitely a person who reads multiple books at a time and I love it. Even right now, I am reading 2 different books at a time in 2 different formats. The first one is Red, White and Royal Blue, which I'm reading in the paperback format. And the second one is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which I'm listening to in the audiobook format. And it's a nice change, You sometimes just need a change from a story, and multiple books at a time are a great way to do it. And you can get more reading done because then you are not in that thought spiral that I have to finish this first and then only I can read it. you can just read it right away. And that brings me to my last point, which is read what you really like. Don't think about FOMO, that is the fear of missing out. Don't think that what others are reading. Read what you really, really like. If you are a beginner, read beginner friendly books. You don't have to jump to the books that you read in the later stages of reading. You don't have to worry about what books are being hyped up right now. You can always pick them later. Read what you really, really like. If you are a romance reader, and if people tell you that romance is not really a genre, you're wasting your time, you're not getting any insight from it, don't listen to them. If you like romance, read romance. If you like mystery, read mystery. If it's fantasy for you, it's fantasy for you. Read what you really like and don't think about what other people will like me reading. You know what I mean? If you are a classic reader, if you want to read more classics, then start with beginner friendly classics and not high level classics, because classics are so difficult to get through. When you read what you really, really like, you automatically read faster because you are interested in it and you're not just reading to show it to someone else. And that helps. So those were all my tips about how you can read more in less time and how you can subsequently read faster. I hope they are helpful for you. Do make sure to implement them in your daily life. It will definitely help you because it helps me, and because of that I sometimes read 10 books in a month. But also make sure that not every time is for reading. Sometimes you just need a break, so take a break. You don't have to read continuously, you don't have to prove anything to anyone, but if you want to read faster, these are some tips that you can absolutely use. Tell me some of your tips if you have any in mind. How do you read faster? How do you stay motivated? And it will help each of us who are trying to read faster. And yeah, I'll see you again very, very soon with another video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and lots of love, and keep reading.